Truth Snack has just turned a year and a half old, which completely blows my mind because the first year took like it felt forever. The first year felt like it took forever to get through, and then like this half year just went so fast. I'm sure we'll be at 2 years in no time. So what I want to do today is just share my thoughts, a little off the cuff, unscripted, about a series I've been going through with my youth group that's really been changing the way I think, and it's called How to Change the World. And there are 3 things you can do to change the world, but they might not be the kind of things you'd expect them to be. The first thing is that the book of James is clear that we have to use our words for good. You see, the book of James compares our tongue to like a fire that can be destructive and out of control, or a rudder on a ship, something really small but has the power to direct an entire ship. You see, we can use our words to complain, or to gossip, or to slander, or to hurt people, or to control them. Our words can be incredibly destructive, but also they can be life-giving. We can encourage people and love them and cheer them on. If you want to make a difference in this world, if you want to change the world for good, you have to use your words for good. The second thing that the book of James tells us is to welcome the outsider. The book tells this hypothetical story of 2 people coming into your worship service, one that looks rich and one that looks poor. And if you treat the rich person really well, and to the poor person you say, you can just kind of sit on the ground by my feet, then you've become judges with evil intentions. And this is what you're judging. You're judging that one life is more valuable than the other. Or maybe you're thinking, oh, this rich person could give me something if I treat them well. That poor person probably can't give me anything of value. But ultimately what James is saying is when we show favoritism, when we refuse to welcome everybody, what we're doing is we're saying some people are worthy of our respect and our acceptance and our love, and some people aren't. And that flies in the face of what God says about everybody. And you will change the world for the better if you welcome outsiders. The third is be selfless. The book of James says that where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you're going to find disorder and every evil practice. So let's find an easy target. Politicians do that. They're in power, they want to stay in power, and so we find a lot of disorder and conflict and sometimes a lot of evil. But that's an easy target. You can see this in your own life every single day when you listen to people talking. They talk over each other. They don't listen. They don't really care. Not necessarily even in a conflict, just as we're speaking. And what we're saying is what I have to say is more important than what you have to say. So I'm just going to talk over you. It's more about me than it is about you. But even when people are being selfless, sometimes we question their motives. Maybe they're just acting that way because they want something in return. That's why Jesus said, if you're being truly selfish, you should be willing to do these things and get no credit. Make it so secret that it's like your right hand doesn't even know what your left hand is doing. If you were willing to be selfless like that, for sure, you would change the world. So obviously these 3 things have a lot to do with our personal character. And I've been telling my students, listen, you don't have to wait until you're an adult or until you have money or until you have influence to change the world. You can be the change you want to see. And listen, if you do these 3 things, you're going to transform your friendships and your family and your communities. But then I felt kind of convicted because in high school, I believed that. And I was letting God transform me. But now as an adult, I feel like sometimes I do rely on my money or my influence to change the world rather than being transformed. So I've been re-asking myself the question that we all should. Am I willing to change before I try and change the world? We just finished talking about being the change you want to see in the world, and this channel is how I'm trying to be the change I want to see on the World Wide Web, because I think the internet can be used to help us discuss what matters in an incredible way. So if you like the channel and you enjoy the videos, would you please share it on social media with a recommendation? It does make a huge difference. Okay, I'll see you next week.